Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me today. So, today I'm going to be talking about the relationship between credit and real estate. So, join in on a conversation, type in comments, and let's get started today. Everyone. Thank you for joining me today. So, as I have previously mentioned, for the month of November, I'm going to be talking about credit and budgeting and finances, everything fun, everything that we hate to talk about as it relates to real estate. So, I just want to prepare you guys that may be thinking about buying a home, whether it's a little closer to the end of 2020 or in the next 6 months if you're looking at 2021. We have to start at the foundation of all of this and look at credit, budgeting, and just our finances in general. So I review a lot of credit reports for people, and I see a lot of collection items on there, or just a lot of old and outdated information. And so people are not familiar on how to clear these items up. By clearing these items up, it will not only improve your credit score, but it's going to help you out when we think about that monthly payment and the affordability of a house that you may be looking at. It may be the difference of buying that dream home and just or scaling back and getting that starter home for you guys. So the lender is going to be looking at a FICO score, not that Advantage score. So if you have apps on your phone like Credit Karma, that is pulling an Advantage score. So there are some lenders, usually maybe like car dealerships and different places like that will accept or look at that Advantage score, but your mortgage companies, your banks, they're all going to be looking at that FICO score there. So I prepared a slide for you guys. I'm going to share that slide with you here. Let's see, get that. All right, so a little bit about me, guys. I'm always going to be talking about assets over liabilities. This is going to be something that you will continue to hear from me as we are going into 2021, of just focusing in on purchasing those assets first, then looking at some of those liabilities that are out there and really breaking that down and understanding the two. So you will continue to hear that information from you guys. So if this is the first time that you're joining me, my name is Andrea Wilson. I'm the broker over at Brick House Realty. So I've been in this real estate business for 15 plus years, servicing the Ohio real estate market, working with buyers, sellers, and real estate investors. Something I didn't list here, we do have agents that work here in our office. So if you are thinking about wanting to get your real estate license, we have the classes, we have everything that you need to get started with that. You can send me a message, a direct message on here, and we can definitely have a conversation about that. But I work with a lot of agents and helping them grow their real estate business. I specialize in strategic planning for building wealth through real estate, helping families make better home buying decisions, finding down payment resources, credit repair, and budgeting. So often we have been conditioned to just think about owning that home and not having a strategic plan around it. I know it's not really fun to think about that because buying a home is supposed to be an emotional or oftentimes an emotional decision. It's fun looking at all the pretty homes, the layouts and design that is going to be the next home for you and your family. But I definitely think that starting out, we should not be looking at that dream home as that first home. We should have a more strategic approach in planning to move up into that dream home and doing things like living in multifamilies initially as your first buy, or doing things if you are married where you purchase in the husband's name first using an FHA loan, and then maybe in the wife's name using an FHA loan. So just doing things like that to strategically move into a place that's going to better position you down the line. I don't know about you guys, but for many years, I worked in corporate America as an accountant, and I hated every bit of going in, working a 9 to 5 and dealing with, the politics of the office place. It drove me crazy. And so I never wanted to be in a position where I had to do that for the next 20, 30, 40 years and tolerate that without having some other backup plan or exit strategy. So through real estate, you can do that. You are building up assets that will allow you to position yourself where you have some additional income coming in. Doing things like, grandma's house that's out there, not selling that house, hold on to that house. That grandma's house oftentimes was a safe haven for many families within the community. And we're starting to see those homes being sold just for cash today. And then when you look back 1, 2 years later, there's nothing to show for that cash that those family members received today. So we have to hold on to those assets as long as possible and start to rebuild the communities where we're living, where we service, where we shop. And that's the way that we're able to do that, is by building our own communities. So you'll continue to see me talking about this all the time. So I want to take a deeper look at what's going on here. So a FICO score ranges from 300 to 850. So when we look at that credit score and what makes it up, the payment history makes up about 35% of your credit score. Outstanding balance makes up 30%. The length of credit history makes up 15%. Types of accounts makes up 10%. And then credit inquiries make up another 10%. So your credit score is important because those lenders, those banks are going to be looking at that to determine the risk level of where you're at. And so whereas you may be strong enough or have a credit score that will allow that lender to approve you for a home loan, it comes with some added downside or downfalls to that. And so what they do is they'll say, yeah, their credit score, they met the criteria, but we're going to give them a higher interest rate. And so what you're looking at here on the screen is just a deeper look at the impact of the credit score. I wanted to give the visual of the same house, the same neighborhood here by looking at buyer A and buyer B. So Mr. 680 credit score, and the credit score, this may not be factual, the credit scores that I use on here, just giving that portion as an example. But everything below Mr. 680 and Mrs. 620 is factual information. So Mr. 680 credit score, the purchase price of the home was $100,000 price point with 4% down, an interest rate at 3.875%. Would get Mr. 680 a monthly payment of $826.36. When we're looking at buyer B, who is Mrs. 620 credit score, the purchase price, the same home for $100,000, 4% down, 5% interest rate. Her interest rate would be higher because her credit score is lower than Mr. 680. So her monthly payment would be $890.28. So that's a difference of $63.92 on a monthly basis. And so for some of you, you may be like, well, $63, that's not that much. I can handle that difference. That may very well be true. You may be able or be in a position where that extra $63.92, you don't see that. But when you start kind of peeling back the layers on that and thinking about that, for me, $63, depending on where we're at the gas station, might be a tank of gas for me. It may even be 2 tanks of gas for me. So that is a lot for me. I hate filling up my car. $63 can do a lot. to think that I would rather have that $63 in my pocket than to be giving that to the bank. So when I look at that $63.92 over a year, that's $767.04. So you're losing out on, or you're giving away $767 on an annual basis. And then most of us take out a mortgage over a 30-year period. So when we look at, and you're paying the same payment over the 30 years. So when we look at that over 30 years, that's a little over $23,000 that you're giving away. So when you put it like that, that makes a big difference, right? So there's something that you have to think about. So why not focus in on your credit score and do the steps and things that are necessary to put you in a position to where you are winning. Keep that money in your pocket instead of giving it to the lender or the bank. And oftentimes, like I mentioned, I look at a lot of credit reports, and a lot of times it's just little simple things that really need to be done. It's outdated information. It's filing disputes that are on your credit report and just cleaning up a lot of things. Some of that stuff may even be old, and based on the laws should be removed. They just haven't done so, and you haven't reached out to these creditors or the credit bureaus to have them remove those items. So you definitely want to look at that. If you guys did not know, if you're here in Ohio, my office offers free credit report assistance. Again, we offer free credit report assistance. The only thing that we're going to ask for you to do is to pay for the actual credit report. We do a soft pull on that credit report. It's $26 is what you would be paying for that. That's the only thing that you pay for. Everything else is free. The only thing or requirement that we have is that you are mentally prepared to move forward with fixing your credit. A lot of times it sounds good coming out of our mouth of wanting to improve our credit, but are you willing to do the work? Are you going to provide the information and the follow-up that's needed to get through that process? That's for you to decide. You can call that number that's scrolling on the bottom here if you want more information on that piece of it. But it's definitely something that you want to think about. And then for those of you who already own a home, you're in a home, you just made it past, or you made it through the criteria, the minimum criteria to be able to purchase a home. And so you want to make sure that you're still repairing your credit report. You should be still working on that and doing the steps necessary to repair your credit so that you can position yourself to do a refinance on your property, get that lower credit score. Get that lower interest rate for you guys. So I just want to jump on here real quick. Happy Tuesday. I'm going to be coming on here sharing lots of information with you guys. So make sure, if you are not already, like, subscribe, hit the notification button so you know when I'm going live. I'll be providing lots of great tips throughout the month, so you don't want to miss it. So thank you guys for joining me. I look forward to hearing from you. Hopefully we get an opportunity to work with you guys. If you think that you made it through the credit process and you think you are ready to own a home, it doesn't matter if it's your personal home, you want to invest in real estate, you can give us a call. Numbers below, 216-220-7886. Thanks, guys. Thanks for joining me today.